During this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the SAMA S50 case. Should this be your next case? So we got the SAMA S50 out of the box. Let's take a quick spin around. So we do have the tempered glass here. We've got a mesh panel in the front. It is steel, and it is super fine mesh. So the holes in there are like 1.2 millimeters, and they're center to center is like 1.6. So no need for additional filters or any other stuff. Separate side panel over here that's got the buttons. So we've got the button for the power. We got an LED here. We've also got a USB-C that's 3.2 times 2 times 2, and then we've got USB 3. We got two of those down at the bottom. On the back side, we've got a ventilation here. There's going to be two reasons why. Once we get into the inside, we'll take a look. Like I said, it is steel. We go towards the back. We can see where one of the fans was pre-installed. The I/O ports are here. We've got an additional stuff that is kind of here for your vertical mount GPUs, and I don't see where the power supply mounts at. That's because the power supply actually mounts towards the front top. So once we take the side panels off, we'll take a closer look at that and check that all out. On the back side here, there's a little bit of an indentation that you can just put your finger in to pop this side panel off. So it pops out. Very nice. Okay. Again, love it that you don't have to put a lot of force on to try to get these things out. I'm trying to be careful. And it is hooked in at the bottom. So I think everybody's learned their lessons before where they were just having it on. So I don't know about you guys, but way back in my day, we had to put screws in to hold these things on and off, and they didn't last very long. So we can see here we got the three fans that are mounted on the inside. We've got the one that's in the back, and then we've also got this extended plate that comes out. So that's on the other side where the power supply is. We get farther into that. The motherboard mountings, right? So we can do the ATX, MATX, ITX, and the back mount motherboard as well. Down here you can put the three additional fans, the 120 millimeters. So it's 120, 120, 120. Of course, you've already got this one that's installed. The vertical mount GPU if you want to do that. So let's pop off the other panel. It's got the same little tabs on the back side here that you can put your finger in and pop it off. Oh yeah, that's nice. Super easy. Super easy to do. Okay, so the side panel here, as you can see, it does come with a dust filter on that side because, well, the holes are really big. So it does come with a dust filter. It can go right into that position. So that makes it really nice. It makes it look good from the outside as well. So we're going to go ahead and pull off the front panel. You pull at the bottom, there's actually a little indentation as you get your fingers in. You can pull on it and it comes off really easy. It is made out of ABS plastic with the steel mesh right here. We can get a better look at where the fans are located, and we can also see pretty much that gap that we have right here. So this is where the power supply is going to go, and it kind of creates that dual chamber effect that they're talking about. So you can put 3 hard drives here, or you can put 4 SSDs here with a single Phillips screw at the top, so you can take this panel out if you need to get access to the back. So when you take out the bracket for the hard drives, I'll set that over here, you get access to, of course, where the back is. In case you need to get back here, it's going to make it a little easier. So if you're going to be changing out your coolers or whatever you're going to be doing for your motherboard, you also get access to the built-in hub for the ARGB and the ARGB fans. Actually got space. Looks like here we can put a couple more in, so that's nice that they left us extra space, but everything is already pre-routed and connected that's currently in there. We just got to help clean up this up a little bit. So right here is where the power supply is going to be sitting. It does recess into the other side of the case, which is absolutely fine, okay? Because where it's sitting now is basically where nothing's ever at. Unless they were going to put another set of fans in here, right? But moving the power supply forward is going to allow for more cable management. It should be a lot easier cable management. What do you think of the video so far? If you're enjoying it, please like, subscribe, share it, and add some comments. I'd love to see what you have to say. What they do supply you with, though, is an extension. So the extension goes into the power supply and goes out of the back of the case. So you still plug it in towards the back, it's just that it's located towards the front. Using extension cables for your power supply is not something new. It's been used in the past, and it's probably been used as recently as well. case you have cases that are designed for inverted motherboards or whatever other designs might be, the easiest way to do it was to add just an extension cord so when you can mount the power supply in different positions. We're going to take a quick look at the bottom. So this is where the air intake would be, or if you want to use that as an exhaust, it's all up to you, depending on what you want to do. But there is a filter on the bottom of it. So it is magnetic. It makes it real easy to take it on and off. You probably will have to kind of reach underneath the case to pull it out and try and put it back into place, or tilt it over if you want to. That's totally up to you. This is the top part of the case, so you can see that the mesh is here. We've also got a little bit of mesh on this side here for that dual chamber. Right on the back side, there's a little handle that you can use to grab. So you just give it a little bit of force, and it comes right off. So again, this is out of ABS with the steel here and the steel mesh here. So this is where you'd be mounting your fans at. So it is made for 120 millimeters. You're going to be stuck with a 120 fans, but you're going to be able to do the 120 radiator, a 240 radiator, and you're going to be able to do the 360 radiator. You are kind of limited to that size just because of the physical dimensions of the case. Typically, we all use that anyway, right? 120 millimeter fans. Same with the front. You can only use 120 millimeter fans in case you want to replace these for whatever reason. Since it's got the case all the way down to the bare bones, it's time to put the system in. So now that you've seen the build, I'm going to go through and we're going to point some stuff out that I kind of found out. So I do like the glass. The glass is nice. It is tinted, so it's got a nice little tint to it. So that's really cool. Something that's kind of weird, or I wish they would have done a little better. Okay, so you have a fan down here that you can put, right? So they decided, I don't know if it was an afterthought or what, but this is what they decided to include, is with a screen that's magnetic that would cover up the hole of where the fan would be. I personally would have liked more of like a cover plate that I could have just snapped in and out. Could have been plastic. This, it's all right. I mean, you're trying to create the dual chamber kind of thing, but what does the screen do? The screen allows the air to pass through. Yes, positive, negatives. I understand. People say, well, that's probably a good thing. Others say it's bad. I'm just looking for aesthetics. I would have loved it better if it was just a solid piece. That way it kind of matched where the backside of the power supply is here. That's just me talking out loud. You may have a different opinion. I don't know what the problem was. It was either me, the case, or the motherboard. But when I tried to install this thing, that I/O port just gave me a whole bunch of shit trying to go into place. I struggled with that little piece right there. The other thing was, it would have been really nice, is that there shouldn't have been an alignment pin. So one of the standoffs for all the mounting of the motherboard, usually have that one that's got the rounded end, or does have a screw in it. This didn't have it. Would have been a simple, super cheap little thing, but a nice little touch that would just help put the motherboard in and align it up to put it in the right position. Way back in the corner here, they have this little notch that's like a little spring clip just for the wires for the fan for back here. Worked out great, tucked them out of the way. So we have this hinge plate back here. It's kind of a cool idea. So you saw that, you can take it off. So if you want to remove it, so you can put it in vertical, you just kind of lift up onto it and then take it out. I like the idea. I'm not sure what the purpose is besides maybe kind of cool. Because if you're not going to use that, it would have been nicer to be able to lock it some way so that nobody can get in there, like you travel into lands all the time or whatever, and nobody can get into it. But that's just a personal preference. We'll take a look at the wire management. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time because I got a lot of stuff to do. Sorry, guys. I didn't spend a lot of time with this. I figured, well, this might be maybe the average of what somebody do. Me, I'm a little more meticulous about it. But even just spending maybe about 30 minutes putting this whole thing together like that, it turned out pretty well. I was surprised that there wasn't a lot of space here. Like I said earlier, I think it was going to turn out okay. But again, you've got this big opening with the fan thing. If there would have been a cover plate, I would have not worried about running cables completely straight down. Even with this filter into place, you would look through and see it. So I hate to say it, but that's kind of a minus for me. Plenty of spaces in the holes in the back, so everything looks good. The cabling, like I said, I did okay. I could have done a lot better. But again, remember, only use what you need. Minimize the cables that you need. And that's exactly what I did. The extension cable for the power supply, it's a little long. I'm sorry to say. It would have been nice if it was more custom made, but they probably just bought that off the shelf somewhere and was able to use it. Makes it cheaper for them. Just for aesthetic wise, I would have liked to see it just more of a straight turn or some better way of hiding it. So you just saw all the stuff that I pointed out, so let me give you my final thoughts on the case. I think it's a good case. I think they did a good job. I did like the idea of the power supply being up here. Did kind of create a nice little space for putting your wiring and stuff. Overall, I think it's designed pretty well. The only negative point that I can see right now for me is I've seen it priced at about $110. I feel more comfortable. It's probably around $90 for myself. So maybe put it in your bookmark somewhere and say, hey, when this thing goes on sale, I would definitely buy it. I like that it has the built-in RGB stuff, and you can just go through here and push on the buttons and change it. I think that's pretty cool to be able to do that. There's some other things that it's got in there that looks pretty neat. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, take a look at some of the other videos that I've done about cases and all-in-one coolers. And remember this, keep building, keep modding, and I'll see you in the next video.